Hello, just Gem here and welcome, or indeed welcome back to my channel. It's time again for new makeup releases and I won't delay because as of late there is a lot to get through. And the thing I'm going to start with actually is Nimya had a release, and I don't know how I missed this last week. Maybe I was too busy entering the giveaway. To celebrate their 4th anniversary, and that's, 4 years, that's gone quickly. I don't think I'd have guessed 4 years. But Nimya, the brand, has been around for 4 years, and they have released a palette, and it's called Formation the Shimmers. So it's a quad, and it's got 4 shimmers in it, as the name suggests. Girl Dinner, a light champagne gold with silver sparkles. Passenger Princess, a soft pink with silver and pink micro pearls. Dusk Till Dazzle, a multi-dimensional purple with blue and pink duochrome sparkle, and Duo the Most, a multi-dimensional gold with green and pink duochrome sparkle. When this first popped up, I thought to myself, ooh, I do wonder how much that's going to be. Going by how makeup is priced these days, a quad of 4 shimmers, I thought maybe £30, $35, there or thereabouts made sense. And then I saw when it was released, it was £18.39. I don't know why the 39p. I'm not going to quibble with them. If that's how they want to price it, that's how they want to price it. But I thought that was incredibly cheap. And for that reason alone, I thought, I might buy that. £18. I'll give it a go. And then something sort of niggled in the back of my mind and I thought, actually, let me put it in my basket and I'll wait for some reviews before I go ahead and buy it, because why is it priced at £18.39? Is there a reason why it's so cheap? And if it is really good, then it makes you wonder, if it's really good and priced at £18.39, why are we paying double or even triple that sometimes for the same amount of product? So I held fire. It's been sitting in my basket and they had a giveaway. Show your sparkle or something, you know, the usual like, comment, share, tell us about your sparkle moment, and I entered and lo and behold I won. I was one of 4 people apparently who was selected, and it's due to arrive tomorrow. When I'm editing this, probably towards the tail end of when I finish editing, because I want to get this up before it becomes old makeup releases, if I have the palette in my possession, I will in fact insert some footage of the palette itself, the little quad, and swatches of it on my skin tone. But this was something I was going to get for the fact that it was only £18.39. I thought it was worth a punt. I was just waiting to see if there were any reviews, just to see what people said. I do have one of the highlighters. It's not in front of me now, but I really like that. That's the Monarch highlighter, and I've been keeping an eye out to see if they pop up on sale on Beauty Bay again, because I wouldn't mind getting the other 2 in that collection, that range. And I'm annoyed with myself for not getting the Nimya palette when it was a tenner on Beauty Bay. Like, I had it in my basket, I should have just done it. It was a tenner. I think it probably would have been worth it. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that too. But watch this space for footage, and I'll probably film with it. I'll do a review, why not? Or you tell me, do you want to see a review on that? Possibly not. Maybe I'll do a short with it. I haven't decided. 4 shades, £18.39. Makeup by Mario has launched another Ethereal Eyes palette, and this time it's inspired by nature. $69, 12 shades, and I can't help but feel a bit of deja vu. I don't know how different this is to other palettes that Mario has done, except that maybe this one has like a hint of green. And it's meant to be the beauty of nature encapsulated in a palette, and I see it to some extent, but I feel as though it should have perhaps a little bit more green than it does. I only see one mildly green shimmer in it. Like, don't get me wrong, probably of all the Ethereal Eyes palettes he's done, this one is probably the one that's capturing me the most, but overall I think it's too muted for my personal preference. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm loving my neutral colours at the moment, so while I do think it's pretty and I can appreciate it, I don't know if I necessarily want to spend $69 on it, especially because when I think of nature and earthy tones, I think more of the Beauty Bay Earthy palette, to be honest, and you can get that for a tenner. And next up, or like on a level, is Botanical, which is like the other side of nature. So it's got more of your brighter bluey greens, whereas Earthy's got your more earthy tones, and it's got your greeny greens. That's a very poor way of describing it, but I think you know what I mean. I'll maybe put them both up so that you can see what I'm talking about. So while I can look at it and I think it's beautiful, to me, I don't think that would be something that would be worth £69. I'd still be curious to try the formula at some point, but I think I would need more from the colour story to make me do that. He did like a promotional video that's on IG, sort of demoing it, and he's talking about nature. So maybe I'll play that so you can see it. And it's got a bit of demonstration of a look and images of nature, footage of nature, and he's talking about the inspiration that he's drawn. So very, very pretty palette, but I just don't think I'd be willing to spend £69 if money were no object. Possibly if money were no object, but then I just don't know how much I would reach for it. I think it might be something I'd use once or twice, and then it would just kind of get buried in all the other palettes that I own. So pretty, but I don't think this is one that I would get. Not for me. Look Healthy store. So this Dramo Gradient Chameleon eyeshadow palette, Luxe 01, which seems like a bit of a mouthful, a bit of a, I don't know what's going on with that name, but it's a 4-pan sort of iridescent palette, which is $59.99 in dollars. And it's very beautiful. And this is kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would imagine that the shimmers in the Nimya Formation palette would be less special than these ones. But this is kind of my point of why I almost hesitated buying the shimmers palette, because I did wonder, what is that going to be like for £18? And why is someone here charging basically $60 also for 4 shades? And I mean, looking at these swatches, I can kind of see it. Each shade has its own rainbow, so perhaps you could say you can't compare. But it just sort of makes you wonder sometimes, when you're perhaps willing to pay more for certain products over others, is it really necessary? I'm just posing the question here. I'm playing devil's advocate. Sometimes I do wonder when things are priced. I feel like sometimes people pluck an arbitrary number out and say, I reckon people would be willing to pay that. Sometimes the ingredients in duochromes and multichromes makes them obviously more expensive than others. But how much more expensive, especially considering that I think some of the shades, I say some, there's only 4 in total, but at least one of the shades in the Shimmers palette is a duochrome. But this is beautiful. Would I pay $60 for it? No, I don't even think I would if money were no object, even though, like, looking at these shifts, they're beautiful. I would be very, very curious to see these same swatches on a deep skin tone. Maybe if I had seen that would tempt me. There's something about representation, guys. If I can see what it's going to look like on me, I might be more inclined to buy it. Just saying. DD Signature from The Roots. So originally when I was capturing footage on this, it was being teased and little snippets were coming out and some shades were being revealed, sort of dotted around the palette. It's now all available, and it's a 16-pan palette, 5 shimmers / specials, and the rest are mattes. This is quite nice. This does look quite nice. I'm wondering how different this is to Broken Jewels. Maybe I'll put these up on screen so that we can see the difference. Or maybe they're designed to pair together. I'll put the... I think they'd pair nicely this release of From the Roots feels like it's a bit of an extension to Broken Jewels. And looking at them together now, I'm trying to decide which one I would prefer over the other. I wonder if Broken Jewels edges it just for me out of these two. Do you need both? I don't know that you do. I don't know. I feel like they go well together. They do go well together. And I think it's one of those things, like say you've bought Broken Jewels thinking, oh yeah, I do quite like Broken Jewels. I kind of wish maybe there was a yellow in there, but this is nice. I can deal with this. And then obviously they've then dropped From the Roots, and you'd be like, oh damn it! You might be thinking to yourself, I wish I'd waited now and just got From the Roots. That's how similar I think they are, but at the same time I think you could have both. If you were eyeing Broken Jewels and it was missing something that happens to pop up in From the Roots, you might be a little bit disappointed. I hope I'm articulating that correctly. I can't even remember if I've said, but it's £46 or $48.99. It is available now. It's been available since the 10th of October. I mean, would I get it? Again, I'm trying to think. Broken Jewels or From the Roots. I don't think I like either enough to go out and buy them. Having tried DD Signature now, I do like the formula, and I would buy more from the brand, but neither of these is really sort of jumping out at me as something that I need to run out of buy. If money were no object, yes, I probably would buy both, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Bearing in mind the other palettes that I would want to get, this wouldn't rank high. Like, this would have to wait, and I don't even know necessarily that there'd be something I'd pick up come Black Friday if they went on sale. There are other palettes I would put above this. That's not to knock the formula, I'm more excited about other palettes than I am about these two. Fantasy Cosmetica, The Witch's Familiar, and this is a collaboration with Batty Bean. It's £38 or $49.99. I will admit, when this first popped up, it was an instant no from me. I wasn't fussed. I thought it was pretty enough, but I was like, yeah, it's nice, whatever. But actually, now I've seen it pop up more and more on my feed, I feel like this is a palette I could be interested in. And I think I say that because it doesn't look like much that I have. Like, at this point, I probably have all the colours. I think I've said it before. If I'm buying a new palette, it's because it's a curation of colours that I don't have, and it's a new ready-made colour story for me to kind of take with me. Having seen swatches of it, more swatches of it since it's been released, and seen a few people try it out, like I'm putting up on screen swatches on different creators, and seeing it on Deandra Nicole harks back to, you know, if I can see it on me, or as close to on me as possible, I'm more inclined to want it. Seeing Deandra's swatches, I thought, actually, that looks quite nice. Would I actually go for it? Like, yes, if money were no object. But again, I think it falls into the same category as DD Signature's most recent releases. While I do like it, I think there are other things that I want more. And Fantasy Cosmetica, I haven't tried the formula yet. So again, that might be something where if I had tried the formula, it hasn't worked with DD Signature, but I don't know, if I tried the Fantasy Cosmetica formula and I really, really like it, that could potentially sway me to get it. But as it is, I haven't yet. I think this, more so than with DD Signature, if it went on a sale, I probably would get it. One, because I really like the colour story. I think it's different. I think it's as unique as you can be in this day and age. And two, because I do want to try the formula. But I think there are just other things, again, that I want, that I'd be more excited about. So but I think this would be higher for me than DD Signature. I think so. So, Sampler Beauty. Now, I didn't mention this. I haven't mentioned this in a new release, and I don't really know why, because I'd been seeing it pop up, and I'd sort of made a note of it, and I've actually purchased all of them. I've got a review that's going to be coming up of palette number 1, and I'm going to just do a video slowly but surely where I do each palette. So I've done number 1, and I won't go into it too much because obviously I've only used one, I've only filmed with one, so I want to sort of go through, but I thought it was worth a mention. Would I buy it? Yes, because I have bought it, and I think the main reason I've gone ahead and purchased them is just because they were cheap. If you just buy the palette, it's £12, and there's like a kit that you can get, which is the palette plus a magnetic lifting tool and a separate magnetic palette, and you can get that for £18. And I got all 4 of them because it was 25% off at the time I bought it on Beauty Bay. So that was effectively buy 3 of them and get the 4th kit for free. So I'll keep you updated as I film with more of them. I'll put the pictures up of the 4 of them together so that you can see them. So these are the pictures that I've taken. I think they're really lovely colour stories, and the main thing that swayed me to get them is because you can do you can do BYOPs. I'm looking ahead basically to how I want to do my YouTube channel next year and sort of reining in my spending a bit. And I think I want to do more sort of BYOPs and more videos around sort of scratch that itch and throwback Thursdays. And don't get me wrong, I will still buy stuff, but I just want to be, I want to use what I've got more. I want to love what I've got more rather than, ooh, shiny new buy, ooh, shiny new buy. So I think I'm going to be more going in that direction next year. At least that's the plan. So let's see how we go. But yeah, that's Sampler Beauty. So yes, I have bought them. Singe Beauty. So there's a collection of a palette, which is $45, lip liners, which are $12 each, and a makeup bag, which is $22. And I say that, but I don't think I've seen the makeup bag. If I find a picture, I'll put it in there. I saw it in the caption, and I did think to myself, really? I don't think I've come across a picture of the makeup bag. When I first saw the packaging of that collection, I thought the packaging looked really good. And then when the full palette was revealed, it reminded me a lot of Neutrals from Cosmic Beauty, except Neutrals has got more depth to it, I think. As nice as this is and aesthetically pleasing as it is overall, like the packaging and the way it looks, like I think it's a beautiful palette, it doesn't go deep enough for me, and I think Neutrals covers this colour story better, in my opinion. So it would be a no from me. I'm still looking out for Singe Beauty. I'm waiting for that palette that makes me want to go for it. I think probably Agate Temptation more so than the first one, Galactic Visitor, I think that's what it was called. Agate Temptation is the one of the 3 for me so far that's captured me, but still not really made me hit that checkout button. So I'll keep looking. I will say the lip liners are a huge disappointment. I saw the original like Singe Beauty photo with the swatches. The top lip is lined and then the bottom lip is filled in, which I think is a good way to demonstrate a lip liner. They're just too light. Even like Messy Mahogany, you had an opportunity there to go for like a really deep brown liner, and it's just too light. I couldn't use any of those as a lip liner. I was waiting and I was thinking maybe it's a lighting thing, you know, give it the benefit of the doubt. I knew Deandra had them, and she's since done swatches like similar, some with the lip filled in and some with it actually lined. So I'll show the picture that she's done of her demoing them all, and it's just a bit disappointing really. And especially considering it's Angie's brand. Like, Angie, I think, has been quite vocal in the past about, you know, inclusivity and catering for more people. So it seems really odd that she's launched these lip liners and there isn't enough range for deeper people to be able to line their lips. As I say, none of these would be a lip liner for me. Messy Mahogany at a push. If they were to do Jazzy Juniper or Radical Rosewood as an actual lipstick, I could be tempted by that. There's like Jazzy Juniper is like a beautiful orange toned lippy that I'd be interested in. As liners, no, absolutely not. Fully missed the mark. And I think that's a shame. I really do. Yeah, that packaging though, for Paisley Hoot, the palette, I like it. And I do like that colour story, but Neutrals has done it better. Next time, Angie. Maybe next time. Gourmand Girls, Nevermore. So I think last time we'd just seen a bit of a sneak peek, but now we've got the whole reveal. And I think I was pretty spot on with my prediction of the price point. It's $55.99 in dollars or £43. And why have I written £68 here? Oh no, $68 or £52 if you go for a bundle with a gloss. And I think there are two glosses, either Nevermore or Poe. This is nice. I think I like this more than I like Trapped. So if it's one or the other, Nevermore, 100%. I'm still waiting to hear more about Gourmand Girls UK. Until that point, even if there's a palette I desperately want from Gourmand Girls, I'm not buying anything. It's now that they've teased that Gourmand Girls UK is coming. I just don't want to spend the extra money to get it to me or to buy it from Monolith. So any Gourmand Girl purchases from here on out are on hold until I know what's happening with the UK warehouse. I'm hearing it soon. I hope it's soon. Probably not this side of Christmas. I imagine it's probably going to end up being 2026. But I'm waiting, and I think Nevermore could be one of my first purchases once it does hit UK shores. I do think I do like this colour story, definitely. And I don't have anything like it. Whereas something like Trapped, I think I could more easily dupe than I could Nevermore. I think I'd have to put in way more effort to dupe Nevermore than Trapped. So I'm going to say yes, but not until it's in the UK. Lightwork 7. Yes, I've ordered it. It's on its way. It's coming tomorrow. Yay! It's $128. And prices in pound sterling, it's going to vary wildly. I've ordered mine from Beautylish and it's £115 and it's going to come to me, taxes and duties and customs and all of that jazz paid. So I know it's not going to be any more than $115. I could have ordered it directly from the Danessa Myricks Europe site, and I think I do have a valid 15% code, but it's just something was just niggling in the back of my mind of, one, could there be charges? I don't think there will be because I have ordered from the Danessa Myricks Europe website before and I didn't incur any, but I also didn't know how quickly it would actually get to me. And I think I've made the right choice in going for Beautylish if it genuinely does arrive tomorrow, which all indications say it will because it's already in the UK. I think if I had ordered from Danessa Myricks Europe, by the time I'd done the conversion it would have worked out as like £111. But for £4 more, the fact it's going to arrive tomorrow, plus I know there won't be any charges, I was happy with that. Guru Makeup Emporium is a UK, well, London specifically, they're based in Wembley, I believe, distributor or retailer, and they've got it for £139.50, which leads me to believe that when it eventually drops on Cult Beauty, Sephora, and Beauty Bay, it will probably be there or thereabouts, maybe £139.50 to £142. Why we have to pay through the nose in the UK for certain things, I don't know. If you're eyeing this and you want it, one, sooner rather than later, and two, a bit cheaper, I say go to Beautylish. Or the Danessa Myricks website, the Europe one. Not the American one, because by the time you've added customs and duty to that, it's almost $200, because I did check that to see if that was an option, and that's a no-go. If you haven't bought from the Danessa Myricks Europe website before, you're also likely to get a 20% off discount code, which I think would make it even less than £110 or £111 once you've done the conversion. Danessa Myricks Lightwork 7 is a yes. I'll probably do quite a few videos on this, so one just focusing on 7, maybe one doing looks with 6 and 7, and if there are any other videos you would like to see with 6 and or 7, let me know and I'll happily do them for you. And yes, I'll be doing comparisons, absolutely. Beauty Bay Dark Lights, yes, I've bought it, I filmed with it, the video is already up in fact. £16, or you can buy the bundle with the 3 shimmer sticks and a mini high key mascara. The mascara is crap. But if you buy in a bundle, you might as well, rather than buying Dark Lights and the shimmer sticks separately. Beauty Moon Cosmetics have done a collaboration with Ice Cream. So I think the Ice Cream box, if you get that, is $29.99 in dollars. And they've done a trick palette and a treat palette, and I believe you get one or the other in your Ice Cream box. You can buy the palette separately, directly from Beauty Moon. They're each £28, or you can buy the bundle of both for $53. I'm more drawn to Treat just because I think Trick is your quintessential Halloween colour story. And I don't think I need that anymore because I've got that covered with Witch City Salem. Treat, on the other hand, that's a different colour story, and that's the one I'm most interested in. Having said that, I'm not averse to buying the bundle because it is discounted to do so. And Erica has a code, and I want to say it's Erica15, and Cole also has a code, which is Cole of the Ball. They're both affiliated, and they'll get you 15% off. I don't know if I'm going to get these, only because I am prioritising hard right now. I'm aware I'm buying a lot, and I'm desperately trying to rein it in. So while I do want these, especially the Treat palette, I don't know if I'm going to go for it. If money were no object, I'd have pre-ordered them already. They're waiting until, 1, I think the stock arrives, and 2, until everyone who's ordered their Ice Cream box gets it. Thinking about what's coming in the rest of the year and things I already want that I haven't picked up quite yet, again, it's just not quite up there high enough right now for me to get it. That's not to say that I won't get it at all, but for now, it's a no from me. I do really want Treat though. Treat looks really nice. Odin's Eye have re-released the Hella palette, which is interesting to me because it was released originally, and then I think they released it again a year or two ago for Black Friday. I want to say it was 2. I don't think it was last year. I think it was, or last year it was the other 2 Angelica collabs that she'd done with Odin's Eye. I think it was Trick or Treat or Little Ghost that came out again last year. And I think there was a desire for this, and I think there were a handful who are probably still wanting it, who missed out before. I know when I started my channel, it was with a review of my first full-length video was a review of the mystery box from last year, and the Hella palette was one of the palettes that you could have got. Jamie, Fairy Dust and Palettes, posted over on IG that she suspects this is basically all the old stock that they couldn't shift before, like when they released it again last time. She suspects that they overestimated the demand, and this is essentially just whatever stock has been left over, because Angie has said several times that she would not collab again with Odin's Eye. She's got her own brand. Like, she has no need to collab with Odin's Eye again at this point. But I don't think she'd be averse to them just either selling off old stock or perhaps, you know, bringing back the collabs that she's already done. That's just something to be mindful of. Having said that though, a lot of palettes, they only start to age or start to go off once they're opened. And the thing is with Odin's Eye palette, they are all individually sealed. So that's a nice thing about Odin's Eye palettes. But that's just something that's worth keeping in mind. So it's been re-released and it comes in like a mini bundle, I believe. And you get like a hella tote bag or something. And it's $43.90 and codes won't work on it, I don't believe. I don't think you can use discount codes on collab palettes with Odin's Eye. There was a time when I'd have jumped on this. There's a time I'd have been like, yep, straight in my basket, check out. But I don't think I have a need for this anymore. There's a lot of stock though. There is a lot. There's, I think, 2,000 palettes that they've got to shift. So who knows, come Black Friday, maybe they'll drop this some more. And because it's one of those palettes that I remember back in the day, once I got into indie brands, I was a bit disappointed to have missed out on at the time. It may well be something that I would get. But then the completionist in me would then want Trick or Treat, because then that would be the only Angelica Odin's Eye collab that I don't have. So maybe I'll deliberately not get Hella so that I don't feel that desire to then get Trick or Treat. All or nothing, which seems a bit silly, doesn't it, really, all or nothing. But I think I'd want both to finish the series rather than just get Hella and then be annoyed to be missing out on Trick or Treat. Does it make sense? Probably not, no, but that's just how my brain works. That's just how it is. Tarty brushes. Now I think these popped up last time I did new makeup, but I sort of glossed over them. And I'm not going to dwell on them too much now, because I think if you get the full set, it's $133.25, which I think is probably overpriced for them. I just don't think that they look to be the best quality. I'd rather stick with maybe like Refa or Zoeva or Sigma. Those would probably be the brands that I'd stick with when it comes to brushes. These just don't look the best. I've seen nicer. It would be a no from me, but I just thought it was worth mentioning. And I say it's $132.25. I think each set is that price. Yeah, so that's each set. So I think in pounds it's 102. No, absolutely not. I thought that was like, no. I don't think there is a universe where those brushes are worth that price. Just looking at the pictures, the quality doesn't look... No. Not for 102. As I say, I'd rather use the money and get Sigma, Zoeva or Refa. P. Louise. I'm going to start by saying no straight away, but I think this is a noteworthy mention because credit where credit's due. I think P. Louise probably knocked it out the park with this Halloween release. It's called Scary Tale Ending and it's in the form of a book. P. Louise do this a lot where they have this chunky packaging and it's maybe in layers, either like in drawers or in some like a book format, something like that. And 9 times out of 10, I just think it looks tacky and unnecessary and I don't think it works. Here though, it really works. It does. And if you were to buy this palette, you would probably never have to buy another Halloween palette ever again because it covers the reddy, grey, blacky tones, you know, like that you've seen in maybe Sinister and Vamp. Then it covers the sort of purples and the oranges, and then the greens and the blacks. All those traditional Halloween colours that you tend to get, this book palette has it. And another issue that I always have with P. Louise is sometimes when they do these book style palettes where it's a lot of different colours, there's a lot of duplication. A lot of the colours look the same, but because of the way this has been done, because it does feature all those Halloween-y colours that you tend to associate with the season, there's a really good range in each of the colours. This has been executed beautifully, and the palette itself, there's an element to the cover that lights up. P. Louise is not a brand I think I could ever buy from. I don't think it's a brand I could ever really support, but they've done something here. This is good. Nicely done, P. Louise. Very nicely done. And for the price point, £45 for all of those shadows. Let me just do a quick count here. So each page has got 18 shades. 18 times 3, so that's 20, 60, 54? 54 shades for £45. I mean, it's that's your Halloween covered. Honestly, you'd never have to buy another Halloween palette ever again. But then have they screwed themselves over? I mean, what could P. Louise do next year for Halloween after this? Unearthly. So, Cursed Winter, Shattered Snowfall. Step into the frost. Unearthly's new mystery bundle system is here. Choose your path. Cursed Winter, teals, haunted greens and piercing silvers. Shattered Snowfall, midnight blues, muted neutrals and icy shimmers. Each bundle holds 17 exclusive products, 12 shadows plus 1 magnetic palette, 2 menacing metals and 1 gloss and 1 highlighter. No dupes, each bundle has its own unique lip and glow to match the story. Which winter curse will you embrace? So I guess that's quite a clever way of getting you to buy both, really, because they're going to be unique colour stories. I'd be interested to see the rest of it. I don't know how I feel at the moment about purchasing from Unearthly Cosmetics, which I think I touched on before. I own Just a Taste for them, and I'll be using that. I love Just a Taste. I'm going to be filming a collab actually with Nikki, and I'm sorry I'm so dark. My little light's gone off. I want to see more inclusivity, showing more diversity and ironing out their customer service issues, and then I'll think about Unearthly again. I believe Unearthly along with Bella Beauty Bar are going to be available on Glisten, and that might solve the customer service issue, at least from the UK end. I don't know if the US shows any improvement in customer service. If you're in the US and you order frequently from Unearthly Cosmetics, let me know about your experiences. But what I hear, there's still a long way to go. I've got my own personal experience with Unearthly Cosmetics, and that was not positive. Getting Just a Taste to me was not straightforward. Because I have to say, I can't fault the quality just based on Just a Taste. It's definitely a brand I would like to purchase from again. But let's see what the brand does to improve for the rest of this year and into 2026 and beyond. These do look good. I don't know what the price point is for each bundle though. Okay, so it looks like the bundles are $58 each. They look beautiful, absolutely. But I wouldn't purchase them. And if you were interested, they're limited edition. So, and another thing, another reason that I probably wouldn't purchase is because everything always seems to be on a pre-order with Unearthly. And that doesn't sit right to me, that they're effectively taking your money and holding on to it for a period of time before you see your product. It just doesn't sit right to me that every single launch with Unearthly seems to be a pre-order. So that's something else for me that they'd have to sort out, I think, before I ordered from them again. Melt have done a collection with It, Welcome to Derry. So there's a Welcome to Derry palette, $42. Pennywise Smile makeup bag, $19. Red Balloon Lip Pencil in Perfectionist, $19. Pennywise Lipstick, or Metallic Lipstick, $22. Welcome to Derry Makeup Bag, $27. Clown Gel Liner Ultra Matte, $22. Lip Set, $45. Eye Set, $69. Full Collection, $99. I do like this palette, but it's too condensed for me. I think if that was expanded, that could be something I might go for. Having said that, it is almost like it's your traditional condensed Halloween colour story, but it's just missing the purple, really, isn't it? So this wouldn't be something I would go for, especially not at that price point. I can't help but feel that $42, was it? Yeah, $42 I think is a lot for that. But then having said that, I think if you're buying the whole collection is pretty cost effective. Again, I think I'd be very all or nothing. I think I'd either buy the whole collection or nothing. But I don't know if I'd want everything in there. The bit that stands out for me, or the bits I should say, are the lip liner and the lipstick. Those are the things that grab my attention the most from this collection. I don't think I'd get any of it, not even if money were no object, because nothing is compelling me enough. I don't like any of it enough. But I think the most noteworthy thing in it for me is definitely that lip duo. I think the full bundle is a good deal. I'm not a fan of it. I don't do horror movies. I just don't. Nothing appeals to me about being scared witless. I don't do gore, and I don't mind a bit of a jump scare. Like a thriller I can do, a horror, no. I'm a big wuss. No. So I'm not a fan of the franchise. I'm not a fan of it or anything like that. So it's not like I have an affinity there that I would think, oh, I must get it because I love the show / film or whatever. But I think for $99, the whole collection is probably worth it. Beauty Bay have released a vault. It contains 45 of your most swiped shadows from the sold out Book of Magic from 2020, Metamorphic from 2023 and Age of Opulence from 2021. Inside you'll also find 12 complexion must-haves from our Does It All cheek palettes, including blush, bronzer and highlighter shades to complete every look. I don't know who this is aimed at. I do know that each of the palettes are palettes that people have requested to have back, but I don't think people wanted it in this format. Something about this, to me, screams kind of like adolescent. Like this is something that you might give a teenager, like a tween, who's experimenting or really getting into makeup. It's too bulky for me to be practical. Like it gives dress up. It gives playing in mummy's makeup. Like if I were to get it, I'd have to dismantle it immediately and turn them into individuals. And it's £50, so perhaps if you were one of those people who wanted all three, it could be worth it just to be able to get hold of them. But no. I wouldn't know what to do with it, and it would pain me to dig. Like, you can't travel with it. Where would you store it? No, not even if money were no object. And it almost seems a shame to buy it just to destroy it. But I think I'd have to, because I couldn't. It's too unwieldy, like I know. I kind of get the idea, Beauty Bay, I do. But no. Even as someone who could have been tempted if they'd relaunched each of these palettes individually in their original format, in this format it's just a big fat no from me. No. NBA Cosmetics has 2 releases. Autumn Moon. Now I do quite like this colour story, but to me I think this is one I could dupe out. Like a cheap option I could use to dupe this, and obviously I know the formulation is probably going to be different, but I think I could get these colours out of the Fiery 2.0 palette from Beauty Bay. I think so. But this is beautiful. This is very sort of autumnal, and I like that it has depth to it. I hear mixed reviews about MBA's quality though. There have been a few releases from MBA Cosmetics that I've looked at and I thought, oh, those are quite nice, and I've been tempted to purchase them. But I'm just not sure about the quality of the shadows from the brand, just from what I hear people saying. That's one of the reasons that I haven't bought from them previously, and this wouldn't be my first purchase from them, just because I think it is easy to dupe. And this is £38 if you just buy the shadows, or £42 if you get it in the magnetic palette, and there's 10 shades there. And the other collection from MBA is the Crimson Castle palette, and that's a £15 palette. It's £44 for just the shadows, £48 if you get the magnetic palette, and then £65 if you get the magnetic palette with 4 nail polishes that they're also releasing. So I know the pans on their own is $57 and the full bundle is $85, but I can't find the dollar amount for the middle, which is the pans plus the magnetic palette. And this one's 15 shades rather than 10 shades. This one, a bit like the final sort of release I'm going to talk about, is again something I would skip because it's a colour story that's been done a lot at this point. It's very reminiscent of Vamp and Sinister and Tainted and all those other palettes that seem to do, you know, red, grey, silver, black, sort of for last Halloween. This wouldn't exactly be my first purchase from the brand either. I feel like they're very late to the party with this particular colour story. And the same goes for Cryptine Cosmetics, which again is a brand that I want to try, but I'm just waiting for that colour story that grabs me. And it's still at the moment, the name's just escaped me. I think it's Burnt Forest is still the one that's tempting me the most, that I may well get in the future. But none of the new releases from Cryptine Cosmetics have made me want to make a purchase. But this, I mean, it's nice. It's a beautiful, beautiful palette. I just feel that I have it in the form of Sinister. In fact, Sinister, I think, gives a bit more. It's the Apocalypse collection. $59 for the eyeshadow palette. There's a Bloodthirsty matte single, and that's $6. Inferno multichrome, and that's $18. The glosses are $14 each, or there's a bundle that you can get which is $56, and then I believe the whole collection is $139. It's really nice, it is really nice, but there's just nothing original about it. It would be a very, very easy pass for me, not even if money were no object. The last release I'm going to talk about is from Diveroon Cosmetics, and this is Bizarre Botanicals. And I'm going to say it, I think this is a yes from me. I've been eyeing Diveroon. I think there was the Warlock palette and the Witch. I'll put pictures up and I'll put the names of the palettes because they've escaped me right now. Those were the first two I was looking at that I was very tempted to buy, which I still might get down the line, I don't know. When this was revealed, I thought this was beautiful. To me, it almost looks like a Bella Beauté bar launch, but done right, if that makes sense. So my complaint, I think, with Bella Beauté bar recently is that some of the colour stories have been a bit samey, like within the palette. Sometimes I've looked at it and I've thought, okay, well, you've got that purple, do you need this purple? And you've got that blue, do you need that blue? Ocean Jewel, for me, I did like it, but there was something that wasn't quite right. And then originally, when I saw, what's the latest one? It was in last new makeup releases, Bella Beauté bar, Dark Dreamscape. And when I first saw it, I thought, yes, that I want that. And then I saw swatches of it and I realised that for a palette called Dark Dreamscape, it didn't actually go that dark. I mean, I'm very dark right now, but that's neither here nor there. I was very quickly put off buying that palette, but this one, just everything, I just think it's a beautiful colour story. I love the range. It's got all my favourite colours in there. It's got your blue, it's got your purple, it's got your green. Overall, I think it's a beautiful colour story. I've been wanting to try Diveroon Cosmetics, and unlike with some of the other brands I've mentioned, where I haven't tried them yet, you know, Fantasy Cosmetica or Cryptine Cosmetics, where I'm eyeing them and I want to try them, and I'm waiting for a colour story. This is what I mean. I looked at this colour story and instantly, yes. I want to say it's $77, so it's not cheap. I don't know how much it's going to be in pounds, and I'm saying $77. Part of me is thinking, is that actually right? But I think this might be a yes. So the next question is, at launch or later on a sale? And another thing that's making me think that I would go for this is I can get it from the Glaminatrix website, and I think getting it from Glaminatrix will actually work out cheaper for me. So when it does launch, I'll do the maths to see, but I suspect getting it from Glaminatrix will indeed work out better for me. And then it sparks the debate of, okay, well, if I'm ordering this from Glaminatrix, do I then just pick up Bonfire? I'll see. I don't think I will. There's just so much stuff that I want right now. I'm even, you know, Illamasqua Core 2.0 came back into stock, and I rushed to the website. In fact, I can turn around again, and I put 1 and 2 into my basket, and they're both just sitting there. And I can get 20% off the order, but I'm just thinking to myself, can I really... should I really go ahead with this? Should I spend... I mean, it wouldn't be 95 each. They're 95 each RRP. And I can get them both for like 152, I think, because there's a 20% discount. And then every part of me is like, oh, that's amazing to get 20% off. But then the other part of me is, yeah, but you're still dropping £152 on makeup in one go for 2 palettes. I don't know. It's making me think. I'm just trying to be more conscious about things that I want to buy, and I'm trying to prioritise as much as I can, and it's just difficult. I think I'd mentioned, well, I know I had mentioned on my stories that I didn't realise I'd have the chance to film this weekend. I'm still filming it later than I normally would, but I didn't think I'd be able to film a new makeup releases at all this weekend. My intention had been that I would do maybe like a mini one, knowing I wouldn't be able to film for a good while and a new makeup releases. And I was filming that and I just got a bit overwhelmed. I think I was just emotional for other reasons, and I was just overwhelmed by the number of releases, and it was just not frustrating me, but it was just getting to a point where I felt like I couldn't keep up, and I was just finding it really hard to kind of pick and choose what I want. And I don't, you know, it's not the sheer volume of makeup releases that made me upset. I think I was just generally overwhelmed with just everything that's going on in life at the moment. And I don't think I kind of realised how much I'd been struggling until I was discussing that. And it has just got me thinking generally about makeup purchases going forward. Like, there is a lot that I want to buy. There is a lot I really want to buy. But I know this, I can't buy it all. I can't buy it all. It's not sustainable. It's not practical. And I only have 2 eyes, you know? I've only got 2 of them. There's only so much makeup I can put on my eyeballs at any one time. I'm just having a think really about how I want to purchase makeup going forward and what direction I want to take my YouTube channel in. For the rest of the year, I'm just filming as and when I can, and, you know, when I have the inclination to film, when I have the energy, the desire to film, and the same goes with editing. At the moment, I still seem to be filming at a rate as if I'm uploading 3 times a week. I've got so many videos filmed, I don't know when I'm going to edit all of these, and I'm concerned now that some of these are going to age and they're not going to be sort of relevant anymore, so I've got to be mindful of that. I want to be able to get back into a routine. I'd like to actually go back up to 3 times a week. I just don't think that's going to be possible for the foreseeable future, but I'll see how I go. I'm just conscious that I've bought a lot lately, and part of me did wonder if I was utilising makeup as a crutch too much, and then I realised to myself, you know, I do these makeup releases and there's a lot that I say no to. Sometimes I might change my mind, but generally I do these makeup releases and I say what I'm going to buy and what I'm not going to buy. And at the end of it, it's not that much. But when you add it all up, the things that I'm saying yes to, there is still a lot. There is. So that's just something I've got to be aware of going forward. I will still buy new makeup. I enjoy buying new makeup. I like it. It does bring me joy. I just have to be careful that I'm not seeking that joy too much from buying makeup. And I just have to be mindful of the fact that I don't need every release. I think I'm conscious of that, but I think I just have to be more discerning about what I buy going forward. I think there's just certain brands that I always feel compelled to buy from. You know, if I always know what I'm getting with particular brands, you know, for example, like your Nomad and your Blend Bunny and your Cosmic, I know what I'm getting for them, so 9 times out of 10 I feel comfortable buying from them, and as long as it's a colour story I like, there's a good chance I will get it. But I think I have to start just being a bit more ruthless and not necessarily being a collectionist. And I've just said Cosmic and I've realised I haven't talked about the Cosmic launch. We haven't seen anything revealed yet. We know that they're dropping something. It's going to be £75, I think, for a bundle. Maybe I'll spin again so you can see it. £75 is going to include a palette, some lip products, and a face palette, like a highlighter palette. And it's going to come in this box, but unlike the Beauty Bay one, it's things that you can like take out of the box and store separately, and you could bin the box if you want to. But having said that, it does look like a really nice box. Without even seeing it, I'm already thinking to myself, I'm probably going to get that. And that's kind of what I mean. But it's also just because Cosmic is just a really affordable brand and the quality is really good. So it's going to be based on colour story, I think. Let's see the full reveal, because that's going to launch on the 17th of October. Yeah, so I'll spin back round. Yeah, so I'd forgotten about that for some reason. I know I've got pictures on my phone, but I didn't write it down, which is probably why I've missed it out. I know I'm rambling now, but I just kind of wanted to let you know where I'm at. Like, I do these new makeup releases, and I don't want to be someone who encourages overconsumption. But at the same, it's different. Overconsumption when it comes to makeup is an interesting concept, especially if something like makeup is your hobby. Yeah, it's striking that balance, isn't it? So that's just something I am aware of. I don't want to just keep blindly buying things. So yeah, very, very rambly, but a bit of food for thought there. And I wonder what you think about, you know, these new makeup releases, especially when they ramp up at certain times of the year, and there's a lot. It feels like it's overwhelming. How do you manage that? How do you decide what you want to buy and what you're going to pass up? I'm going to leave it at that. Let me know what new releases you're picking up and which ones you're skipping. What ones are you most excited about and which ones are you batting away? As always, thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I also hope to see you again in a video in the not too distant future. Take care. Bye.